Hey guys, welcome to part 3 of the real traffic tutorial. In part 1 we have built a sample crossroad, and in part 2 we have set up a passenger car. I've already shown you most of the functions of the transport object. In this part we will add some traffic controls. We will define the traffic flow and add some traffic lights. Before starting with the control objects, I want to complete our crossroad. We have already added one turn signal command for this left turner lane. So when a car comes from here, it will indicate the turning in time. Here are further left turner lanes to add a turning signal. And also the right turner lanes get a turning signal. Okay, let's delete this obsolete node. Now we need some more cars. In the transport object, the vehicle manager, we can load and save vehicles in a special format with the suffix RTV. You can download some cars in this format from our website for free. However, this function is available only in the full version. So let's load some cars. A Mini Cooper. All cars are positioned in the center, so I have to hide the Audi. So maybe a truck. Okay, it's better to hide the transport object, so I can always make the loaded cars visible. Now let's add a van. And maybe a minivan. Now we need a big truck. Okay, this is a good example to show you the components of a vehicle with a trailer. In the front there is a truck. The trailer is simply added like a second chassis. Here we have 3 axles. The axle in the middle defines the wheelbase. It's a turning point on the ground. The other 2 ones are steered. The origin of the trailer is here at the front. This is the connection point at the truck and can certainly be moved. By the way, you can add as much trailers as you want. Okay, let's add an SUV to get more different car types. And maybe a taxi. And finally, a bus. Here we have this double bus that is also available on our website. This is an interesting setup. There are two bent objects deforming this accordion thing at the connection. Before cars can drive, we have to create a volume object. The volume object controls the traffic flow. This is similar to a particle emitter. Vehicles will be emitted at these start nodes and will drive to one of the given destination nodes. In the control manager, we create a volume object where we can assign start and destination nodes. One volume object would be enough. We could assign here all of our start and destination nodes. But I want to show you how you can define different traffic flows. For example, for a rush hour in the evening, where more cars will drive out of the city than into the city. So I will define one flow from southeast to northwest and one from northwest to southeast. So first the start nodes in the south and east. And the destinations in the north and west. As you see, the start nodes are bordered green and the destination nodes red. Let's say our city is here in the southeast. We increase the outgoing traffic. For first, I will double the values. The values define the number of cars per hour. We can adjust them later. Now let's rename the object to southeast to northwest. Now a further volume object for the incoming traffic. Call it northwest to southeast. I leave these default values for now, so we get less traffic in this direction. Here we assign the start nodes in the north and west, and destination nodes in the south and east. So now we can let the cars drive. Before doing so, I want to show you these options for inactive vehicles. You can make them invisible or be parked in a certain place. This option is good to track what's going on, say which cars are currently unused. So I want the inactive cars be placed here at 2000 and minus 1000. Or 1000 will be okay. When starting the animation, the cars are placed here in a row and wait to be emitted. After reaching the destination, they are placed back here. I would say this is far too little traffic. I think this is because we have just a few nodes where cars can be emitted. So let me increase these values. Okay, looks better. By now we have no regulations here. As you see, the cars take care on each other to avoid crashes. Here you can track the vehicle management. Cars that are currently not available are automatically cloned. Okay, animation time is over. I increased the duration for this project a bit. Before we continue, I want to show you a very useful option. With the time offset, we can skip the first phase of the simulation when the cars are starting one after another. You can jump right into the busy traffic scene. Now let's add some regulations. First we set stop signs. We just have to switch on the stop sign option for these nodes. This will make cars stop and look for other cars before they continue. They will stop briefly even if there are no other cars around. Before starting, I switch on this option for hiding inactive cars. This situation is quite difficult for the sim. Cars have to attend the stop signs and left turners have to let pass other cars. Now let's remove the stop signs and set up traffic lights. In the control object we can create a traffic light object. This object usually controls the traffic lights of the entire crossroad. Here we need 4 signals because I want separate signals for the left turners. We can increase the cycle time a bit. So we have 80 seconds now. That means each signal is green for about 20 seconds. The high value means red and the low one is green. The phase between is yellow. The yellow phase from green to red should be longer than from red to green. The last green signal is a bit short, but that's not important now. So now we assign the signals to the nodes. First, the straight lane in north-south direction. Next, the left turners. Signal 2. Here we have the straight lanes in east-west direction. They get signal 3. And the left turners get signal 4. Let's see what happens. We see that there is a traffic jam because the left turners don't get through when they have green. We should have put these branches a bit more in front. Okay, let's see how it continues. Okay, it's working so far. Okay, there are some issues left. As you see, we have now all these clones created by the simulation. The transport object provides a function to delete all these clones so that only the original cars remain. It's a good idea to do so before saving the project or editing the cars. There were too much taxis, so I like to reduce the distribution rate. Okay, that should be fine. The other thing are the car paintings. As you may have noticed, all cars retain their colors. I mean, all Minis are red, all Audis are grey, and so on. As I've already brought up in the previous part, there is an option to vary the materials of the cloned vehicles. In the transport object, we can define groups of materials to be exchanged. So let's make a group for varying the body paintings. I assign all body painting materials used by these cars. We can also make new materials, maybe a blue painting and a green one. Doesn't have to look too nice now, just for showing you the system. These new materials also have to be added to the list. You can switch on and off this feature for single cars. For the bus, for example, I don't want the painting to be changed, so I switch off this option here. Same for the taxi. But since I didn't add this painting to the list, it won't be changed anyway. So this is a second way to exclude cars from this feature. Okay, let's see. Cars get other colors now. The yellow Kangoo is now blue. And we have less taxis. So as already said, this crossroad needs to be improved. These branches have to be earlier to avoid that the left turners are blocked. And the lanes should be longer, because cars can only be emitted if there is enough space. Let me show you a similar crossroad from our download page. Here also the traffic light nodes have components for visualization. This works similar to the brake lights and turn signals. In the node object you can put in components for the different signals. These components can be created using the add components function in the node attributes. You'll get 3 components, 1 for each signal. In the component object you find again these parameters for fading the light state. In the remote object link box you can assign the light objects of your traffic light model. In this case, it's a combination of illuminating material and the light object. So the standard renderer will produce this glow. As you see, this is a complete example with turn signals, brake lights, material exchange and traffic light visualization. The performance is not so smooth because of the screen recording in the background. As already said, this crossroad can be downloaded from our website. There you also find the cars we have used and the network layout of the Barbarossa-Platz project from our promo video. So, have fun playing around with traffic. Thank you for watching this tutorial.